Hello and welcome back to another episode of DC Alliance. Of course, I'm your host Clay. With me today is, of course, my co-host Travis Hines. Hines, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Jamie. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We were reviewing
The
over there
boys.
at Walk Through the Multiverse. We were doing The Boys. So let me actually um what do I want today? What do I want today? I'm gonna be you know what? We got our first but I hate that. Well, I like the movie. I just don't like that we're getting a sequel. Yes, we're gonna be talking about some Joker 2 stuff today. Um but you know what? I will do. I don't like that trailer either. You know what? I will do the Sandman. That's what I am. I am Sandman.
Well, I'm
Um, so,
Travis.
so dude, we have a huge starting point to talk about this evening. I just checked. There is nobody talking about this right now, at least live anyway. Um, So let's go ahead and jump into things. But before we do, of course, we always have to do the network plugs. DC Alliance is, of course, a part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance network. What that means is that we are just a part of one giant podcast family, 8 shows over the course of 7 days a week. Of course, we start off every single week with Ranger Alliance and, of course, a slice of film. We go bi-weekly, switching off every single time. This week was, of course, Ranger Alliance. Me and Jake were reviewing the first 3 episodes of season 3 of Mighty Morphin. And the really cool thing about that is the fact that I just realized when we were recording that we are actually going to be flying through season 3. It has a lot of 2-parters, a lot of 4-parters. And we like to join those together. We like to put those all in one episode. We will be starting Zio, I think, either at the very end of 2022 or the very beginning of 2023.
When do
And
you
to
get
pre-
to that series where the kid is in it?
that is Turbo. That is immediately after Zio.
Ooh.
So, well, the reason why I was looking at it in that perspective was season 2 took us an entire year or almost an entire year to go through. So, just to put things in perspective, season 3 is going to go really, really fast. So, that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Of course, we have DC Alliance on Tuesdays, and on Wednesdays, of course, superhero discussions. And Heinz, you said you wanted to share some things with our audience.
Yeah. So we recorded an interview with Christopher Jones, who's a storyboard revisionist for Young Justice Phantoms, and he's also working on the Young Justice Targets comic with Greg Wiseman that continues on from season 4. So Joe joined me for that. We interviewed him the other day. It's already up on Patreon for our patrons early, but superhero discussion listeners, you'll get that after the review of the season finale of Young Justice Phantoms. Chris Balga from Marvel Alliance and World's Finest True Believers joined me for that, so it's a great discussion. And then it's a great interview with myself and Joe and Chris talking about basically how he got into the industry, what a storyboard revisionist is, and we tried to prod some spoilers or gave him some of our theories to see if we got any reception. I don't know if we got anything or not. I'll hold it. Let you guys find out about that. But it was so much fun. So yeah, and obviously superhero discussions next week. We'll be back with Spectacular Spider-Man. We still have to finish that off. So I gotta dust off the old Netflix Flickster. And uh, actually, no, I gotta get Netflix back because that's not on Flickster. Okay, yeah. So Netflix Canada that is on. So I will be getting back into Spectacular Spider-Man and finishing off that great animated series. So, yeah, awesome
Very,
Young,
very
young
nice.
Justice fan.
And then, of course, on Thursdays is uh, the Star Wars Alliance show reviewing Kenobi currently. And then, of course, Marvel Alliance is on Fridays with uh, the walk through the multiverse actually being on Sundays due to the boys being reviewed every single week until that show ends. And then, of course, last but not least, World's Finest True Believers is a monthly show. just recently, I think 2 weeks ago, was Chris's episode on I Killed Giants. Go check that out. A lot of fun. But with all of our shows, we also have some live shows as we are live here on YouTube currently. So, DC Alliance, Star Wars Alliance, and Marvel Alliance all have their own separate solo feeds. So, if you want to go check those out and listen to those by themselves, you can always do that. Or you can join us here at the GUA, listening to us every single week. But those three shows do go live. DC will go live every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Wednesdays for Star Wars Alliance is, of course, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Marvel is 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we do have ads in this show. We are a listener supported network as well as an ad supported network. So if you don't want to listen to ads, you can always join us here live with us every single week. But if you don't have time to join us live, you can always join our Patreon. So $1 is just to say thank you, while $5 gives you the exclusive content as well as the ad-free shows. So I believe, I actually haven't asked you in a while. I know that you said that the interview went live on Patreon already, but what top fives have you been up to recently?
I have 3 in the bags now. None of them are posted on Patreon. That's the worst thing. One of them, American listeners, I think you'll have a bit of a laugh at this one as well. It's my top 5 chip flavors, potato chip flavors, which there's going to be some flavors that I don't even think you guys have ever heard of. That involves Doritos, Cheesies, Ruffles, the whole shebang. I whatever, and
Well, the
I'm
fact
a
that we had a conversation a couple months ago, the fact that you had a special Cheeto bag that
yeah.
wasn't in America.
Nacho
I-
Cheetos, which is an honorable mention. I'll just give you a peek behind the curtain because there's a lot of honorable mentions. Because listeners, I like to think of myself as a chip connoisseur, so I everything but salt and vinegar. But yeah, that's the 2 little flash I'll give you to that, obviously. And I told you about the YouTube channel already and my sports teams that I love. So those will come. I'll do them one a week. I'll drop them one a week just so I give them a bit of weekly content at the time. And like Clay said, that interview is already up for the patrons. We thank you, and I will also pick Clay up just a little bit on this to promote us just a little bit more. We did a review of Superman and Lois, episode 212 and 213. That already went up on the podcast feed Sunday morning,
yes.
Saturday. Chip flavors, yeah, Snell, I'm telling you. At least you'll know. If I says ketchup, you'll know I'm not bland enough to pick just ketchup, obviously, but
No, but of course, there is also Chris and Brent's. We can watch this all day. He says, "I can't wait to see what top fives we get 3 years from now." Jesus. Um,
the top 5
um,
weird names of towns in my province. And for number 1, dildo.
that is literally a name in your province.
Yeah, of a
That is
town. Dildo.
amazing. Reference to the
DILDO.
boys. Hey, go listen to our boys review. Just letting that out there.
I could pull top 5 out of the air just in a couple seconds.
But then of course there's that. Katie also has her legendary conversations, which is looking at the legends books and also relating them to canon books, to kind of like how they coexist and everything else, which is really really cool if you are a continuity nerd like I am within Star Wars. So that's really really fun. She also is doing uh legendary comics conversations with her husband. They're going to be going over the High Republic stuff in comics right now, which is also really, really good. And then I don't know if Joe is doing anything else currently
Not
right
at the
now.
moment. His multiverse minutes is on Ice while he's doing weekly episodes
Yeah,
of The Voice.
yeah. And then, of course, me and Snell are just waiting for that issue 6 of Batman 89. It's almost like the last Ronin over here. But we are waiting for that 6th issue of Batman 89 so we can finally review issues 5 and 6. Now,
I can't, Clay. I can't take it anymore. We got to talk about this. Like I'm
let's
jonesing. This was a not a nuclear bomb, but a pretty big bomb that went off on the Twitter timeline in like
literally
it,
right before we went live. So, how do we like, okay, so this was sprinkling in onto social media early this morning. this whole idea of Lady Gaga possibly in talks for Harley Quinn. And Snell is so proud of himself. He shared somebody else's tweet and he's like, "Oh yeah, I told you so. I told you so." No, the individual that tweeted it out first told us so. Derpy Gaming says, "Oh my god, it's Travis Scott." Chat LMAO. How we doing tonight, fellas? Travis Scott,
I'm doing
the
great, and
country
if you want,
singer.
if you're gonna stay, listen to the rest of the show, I'll be Travis Scott for the rest of the evening. If that's if that gives us an extra listener, why not? You can call me Travis Scott.
But
Doing
I
great.
so Travis, shared this tweet early in the morning. I think a lot of us had different ideas about having Lady Gaga be in a DC property. Then the rumors started to really pour through Twitter. I saw it all day. And then literally right before we went live, I think it was Boris Kit.
I have the tweet right
He
here if you want me to
he
read it out.
well right before he tweeted the actual announcement, he said, "You may want to sit down for this one."
He earned a bit of
So
credit back because a lot of these lately from these scoopers have been quite like duddy in incoming, and it's just nothing to do, nothing big at all.
no, they really haven't, and I will give it to him. I feel like this year has been kind of slow for movies, and that may be my own personal opinion. I know a lot of people dig a lot of the stuff that has been hitting theaters recently. I haven't had too much reason to go to the theaters, so that's just me. Like I said, personally. But Chris Balga says, uh, who had this on their DC bingo card this year? I didn't. And you know what? I dig it. Well, go ahead and read that tweet off, Heinz. What is it that Boris had announced?
Lady Gaga in early talks to play Harley Quinn opposite Joaquin Phoenix, who still doesn't have a deal to return, by the way, in Joker 2, which is planned as a musical.
See, this is where we differ. I think the confirmation of Joaquin Phoenix returning was actually when Phillips announced the script for season 2. You know, I think that when he showed the script, and then if you kept swiping on Instagram, you also saw the photo of Joaquin reading the script. I think
Link
that is confirmation that he is returning.
Yeah, I think that's very like just trying to generate a little bit more buzz on your tweet there, Boris Kit, by putting that in there. There was no need to do that because, like Clay said, if you go to his posts, he's showing Joaquin Phoenix. He's not going to do the project without Joaquin Phoenix. Like that's first and foremost. So I think this is crazy, Clay, that we're getting her, but she has such great chemistry with Bradley Cooper. Like I can see her having such great chemistry with Joaquin Phoenix as well, and just zoning in on this role. I think it could be crazy. It's the thing that sucks is you will inevitably get those people saying like, "I want to see this character in greater DC EU," when they're not realizing that it's DC Black Label. But this pretty much confirms everything that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Of Phillips, I think he can do what he wants in the Black Label.
I think he might be able to, but that doesn't mean it's going to be great.
Oh, no one said that.
I
No one said I never said
this
that, but I said
idea.
I would take it.
If you look into our GUA chat, like I'm not really for this, to be completely honest. Derpy Gaming says, so wait, did Todd Phillips watch High School Musical and say, I got it, I'll make it Joker 2, a musical. Uh I need what he's doing. Uh Honestly, here's the thing. I think Snell had said it in the chat. He had said like it's like La La Land, but really fucked up. And I know a lot of people love La La Land. I never seen it before. I like musicals, and I'm not saying this will fail. I just don't know how I feel about Lady Gaga being Harley Quinn and doing a musical with it. You know, I could see one or the other,
What would she wait?
but
What would she do if she would she just be some random person if she
no,
wasn't,
like say that she
or she's going
was
to sing a song
no,
on the?
she would be Harley Quinn. If they decided, hey, she's going to be Harley
Oh,
Quinn
okay, I
in
got you
this
now.
Black
Yeah,
Label movie, okay, cool. Well, if they decided Joker 2 was going to be a musical, I guess it would be best for somebody like Lady Gaga to be in there,
Yeah.
but I I don't know, maybe I'm just not like a musical guy anymore, really. Like I'm trying to get into more modern music. I told a lot of people, I think even in the Geekverse Discord, that I stopped listening to music when I started listening to podcasts. So I've been listening to podcasts for a good 6 to 8 years now, and I don't really listen to a whole lot of music. So
I'll
I mean,
listen to music from time to time, but I don't know if musical is like what I would be listening to on the radio or like just your typical music. I've seen some musicals. I can't come here and say I'm a big musical fan, but by any means. But I am intrigued. He made he didn't make a superhero film the first time, so it's not like he's like going out of the ordinary. I just think this is going to be pretty crazy. Uh, and it could really you could really see some chemistry between those two characters. And essentially, this folie do means like you passing on your issues to another person, like your mental issues to another person, like giving like same thing. So it's I really can see that was remember when this title was announced that it was going to be Harley Quinn. I thought potentially it could be Batman as well because but I I'm going to give Lady Gaga the benefit of the doubt. I'm definitely super interested. Play like this is
well, and
because
I said this.
will we keep branching out from this? That's another thing. Like, will we see any more in this universe? Like, could there be a Lex Luthor that's absolutely a terrible person? Like, could we get something like that as well? Like, I don't know if they'll
Well,
keep branching out from this if this is a hit.
and that's always the problem, right?
Yeah.
So I had said before we went live that Lady Gaga being Harley Quinn and quite possibly being introduced as Harley Quinzel would actually start us off exactly where we left off in the end of Joker at the asylum. He could be seeing her, on a weekly basis or whatever. And I could see how they would make it work. Now, again, the idea of what Joker was at the end is like, oh, was it all just in his head or not? You could kind of play that off here as well. Is the music really there, or is it in Harley's head? Is it in Joker's head? I could see them playing a lot with that, and I understand that. Now, to answer your question of are they going to branch out? I've always been scared of this because I want to see more movies in other genres that have more characters other than just the Bat family characters. But again, it's the moneymakers. They don't want to branch out into the unknown if they know something will make them money. So if Joker 2, it's kind of hard to say. I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's not going to make a billion. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not going to make a billion. Now, can I be proven wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely. Look at freaking Doctor Strange. It was so freaking close. It was so freaking close to making a billion. Now, this could get up there. You have the GA actor or singer of Lady Gaga. That's going to bring more people in. That's a great idea. If this gets enough money, yes, I believe they will branch out and they'll do something else within this universe, unfortunately.
Oh my God, negative Nancy here. Even though you don't like it, like this is a black label. So like I know you're unfortunately, but like a lot of people like the first one, and if a lot of people like this one, they branch off. This is the greatest thing about
Yeah. No,
DC.
don't
This
get
could
don't
be
get
a
me wrong.
section that other people really enjoy, and a thing that like you can be satisfied in the greater DCEU than and not
Oh,
enjoy
no,
some of these black
I,
labels.
I, I can be satisfied in the DCEU and be satisfied in Black Label. That doesn't mean that I'm automatically going to stop watching Marvel Studios, though, right?
I
I
don't
want
know.
different things. I
No, I know. You
want
just said
different
like you
things.
the way you said that was like, oh, they're gonna keep branching out, like, oh, but
Yeah, like
that
if DC Black Label just becomes DC Joker, like that's going to be dumb, and I'm
that's
not going to
not what
like
I
it.
meant when I said that. I didn't mean like keep going with Harley and Joker stories. I just meant if Todd Phillips has another hit, will he be able to branch out and take another villain character and go after it? And I didn't mean like getting a Harley Quinn solo or getting a Joker 3. I wasn't talking
See,
about that. I just meant him and his role in DC. If he gets another hit like that, Zaslav's going to be like, "You're the money maker, me lad." I
yeah,
don't
but
think
they
he's
they
Irish,
won't
but
they won't ask him to make a Lex Luthor movie. They'll ask him to make another Joker movie, though.
I don't know essentially when if he gets hits like the same thing as Nolan. No one asked Nolan to do this movie. He comes to them, here, this is the idea that I have. And who's to say he can't be an EP and find other people who have great ideas and villain takes that you could uh, I wouldn't say get credit for, but get in on. Get in on it by finding them and just being like, I'm an executive producer, but you go do everything that you just told me. So I just think that he'll have a lot. If this is the big hit, he's going to have a lot of sway. If he doesn't already, I don't know like what we
I
rumored,
mean,
but
again, if I think this does this will definitely help him get that advisor role that he was rumored to be getting at DC at a future DC Studios for sure. I understand that, but my big thing is, and I've said it before, and just reiterating, I do have the fear that this Black Label will not be able to branch out of the Bat family criteria. Like, that's what I have a fear of.
well, unfortunately, like it seems like the Black Label's got to appeal to general audience even more than just your regular superhero film does. So like you can thank the Batman 66 show, I guess, and the 89 and 92 because those are the characters, those are the villains from DC that the general audience know the most. Those and the
Yeah, I
Superman
understand
films.
that, but DC Black Label doesn't need to be just
Oh, I
villains.
agree. Clay, I'm in 100% agreement with you. Like, I'd love to see completely off the rails. Like, give me a Deathstroke film if you're going in Black Label. Like, give me that Joe Manganiello one
That's a
if you don't.
villain.
Yeah.
I said DC Black Label doesn't need to be just villains.
No, anti-hero.
No, it's a villain. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's a
I
villain.
sometimes not all the time. Let's not try and pretend like he's not portrayed other ways.
He's a villain.
Uh, you're so absolute with things. You're such a Sith. You're such a Sith. I dropped some Star Wars knowledge on you, yo.
Just saying. I I would want, like I said when we were talking about this before, give me a Jonah Hex. He is a hero. He could be categorized as sometimes being an anti-hero. Give me freaking Booster Gold, time travel movie, within the DC Black Label line. It could work. But
Budget wise,
veering
that
back
might
in
seem like a big
veering back into this, Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, Phillips. On paper, it sounds like it's going to make a shit ton of money.
Alley-oop slam
My
dunk.
problem is, and what I said in the GUA chat, I need to see who is writing the songs, who is doing the choreography. And yes, Lady Gaga has a lot of experience with that. But this is a movie production, not just a music video. She doesn't do all of the choreography in her music videos. She may do some, she may have some pointers, but those have directors, those have choreographers. Like, they need a team.
They're going to
Do I
get the
know
best of the best because this
you,
first movie made $1
you,
billion.
you so you think it's going to be the best of the best just because the first movie made $1 billion?
Oh, 100%. If this movie didn't make nearly as much, I wouldn't be confident in who they could bring in because I don't know the funds they have. I am 100% confident if they say we need this person to 100% they'll sign off. And this isn't the Wonder Twins. This has, as Zaslav has stated, return on investment. When you look at the
I wish I could
percentage for
have your
this,
positivity. You know that?
I'm Clay. I'm looking at it through specific numbers, like just dollars and cents. Like when you look at the return on investment is a percentage that you look at for business all the time. And if you look at Joker One's return on investment, the percentage is high. It's probably one of the highest ever for WB.
But when you change genres,
It
That
doesn't
is
matter with your profit
completely different.
margins. That when your profit like when your what it costs is so low that when what it takes for return of profit, your return on investment is going to be high regardless. Like even if they make 400 million, it's going to be higher than uh it might even be higher than the Batman's because Batman's almost 200. I think people when they're all said and done or 150. I can't remember, but you like it's still like because they spent so much you need to make so much more to even come close to the same return on investment. That's just so that's why I think that because he said that in his letter. Only he said that multiple times about return on investment. I don't think he said it in his letter, but he said that on record about return on investment. So
SMUB says Lady Gaga wrote a lot of songs for A Star Is Born. And then Travis Snell says, no matter what, it'll be profitable. I could see them showing the musical aspect on a little uh, to the GA. And that's what I mean. Travis, like you said, it could be the La La Land of the DC universe. A lot of people really love La La Land. I never saw it. I don't know what that is for people. I have seen other musicals, and I know those have done well. I appreciate a lot of Broadway musicals, to be completely honest. But here, again, I can see a for me, it's the aspect of being able to see it in live action because you put it on paper of animation Harley Quinn Joker musical episode. I see that being absolutely hilarious, and I can see it working. This, there's a lot more moving parts and a lot more that they can mess up on.
I just think when you have like if you do something once, I unless you go if you're trying to do it again, I have to you've earned some credit for me doing it the first time. Now you can screw up and lose that credit after the second film. Like
How many
I'm not
times have
saying
we
it's that
seen people try to put lightning in a bottle twice?
that's the case for every sequel. Then I guess some are good and some are not. Like Terminator 2, amazing, better than the first one.
Yes.
So you can get those situations. Like I'm not saying it's going to be, not saying it's going to be worse. I think I agree with Snell about like I've been saying, it's profitable. That's the dollars and cents reason why this is getting made. Clay, more than anything, is that it's cheap to make and it's profitable. So that's why this is getting made. That
We are
may be the
too.
new slogan going in for DC. It's cheap to make and it's profitable.
Well, no, like when it comes to me and you though, when we have these debates, we are definitely on two different sides. You see
No,
the
no,
money.
no.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no,
no. I'm
no,
just
no.
saying,
You
but the
you see
overall
the money.
enjoyment, I think
I
I'm in with you
see.
on the enjoyment. I think I'm in with you on the. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy this at all. I'm not a big musical fan. I'm just like I said, just looking at it from the dollars and cents perspective. But for me as a DC fan, this is not up my alley at all. Like I'm not. I'm not like, yeah, I can't wait to watch this.
I,
Like
I I love how you go from, oh, this could be great. Yeah,
no, I just want to let you
dollar
know that I'm
cents,
on your
dollar cents,
side.
dollar
Yeah.
cents. Oh, but don't ask my opinion on it, by the way.
No, I just want to give everyone, let everyone know, like, because the first Joker, while it was awesome, I didn't feel like I'm a rainbows and butterflies, skipping like happy-go-lucky kind of guy, like pew pew pew, pew explosions and superheroes doing superhero stuff. And Joker was not that. It was a cool like little film to watch, like an introspective film, and it made you feel bad about mental health and like the facilities that are available for everybody for the help they need. But I didn't watch that a second time even though I
See, and
acknowledge how
and
great it
I and
was,
I
just
saw
because
Joker three times. Yeah.
it didn't make me feel fantastic or anything. Whereas like I could throw on any other DC film and I'd enjoy it. So it's just, but I can recognize a good film and a profitable film, even though it's not for me. So and like I said, I'll be interested to review it though. Like I'll be really interested to see how the musical numbers are going to work with
Hey
DC
Snell, I'm actually
characters.
going to be dropping something for you in the GUA chat right now, which I think is actually looks really really good. But anyway, I think that is really it on
Yep.
Joker 2 and Harley.
What a band we
Again,
have come off
well,
just
here
before the
I will
show.
say,
Content,
I
content.
will say this. I will say this. When Joker was announced and leading up to it, I had always said, this isn't a movie that I need. This isn't a movie that I need. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I was really on the fence about it, about the idea of having a Joker movie because I didn't want an origin and everything else. And then I ended up watching it 3 times in theaters. So, although I may be on the fence about Harley being in Joker 2, about Joker 2 as a whole. This movie may be amazing, but I need to let everybody know how I initially feel, so that way when I see the movie, I can be like, okay, they turned me around, or I could just be like, huh, I told you so. So that's
That's
why.
that's what it all comes out now. Why instead of why he jumps to conclusions is so if those conclusions are right, he can say, "See, told you so, guys."
Told you so.
So it all comes out now. Why Clay doesn't be like? Because I thought that was weird when you were in the chat. And I was like, "How do you know it's not good content? You haven't seen it yet." That when you said that thing, and then I'm just like, and now you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. So you can say, I don't think it's good content now because it doesn't hurt anybody. That's the thing I don't understand with some of these people. Let's say for the sports takes, they never say I was wrong. I don't understand that. I don't understand why you can't just say my bad. I got that one wrong. You can easily say that, and that's no big deal. That's 15 seconds. But the told you guys, you can milk that for at least 5 minutes of. I told you this was terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And it's worth every second.
But Clay, we have some trailers, some more content. I thought we were already full with content, but we got a half hour into this show already before we even get into the trailers that I have set up. So first we got to go with Black Adam, I assume, because I think it's the one we both know the most about. So listeners, I'm going to kill my mic. I'm going to share my screen. Apologies for the 1,200 tabs. Not really. It's not that bad. It's been worse. If you're live. And Clay, I will start and pause whenever you want to discuss.
All right. So let's go
Let me just
ahead
turn on
and
closed captions are
on.
And we open
So
with Dr. Fate talking. And what's that? Is that Hawkman's vehicle or is it like a JSA vehicle?
I would assume that it's Hawkman's ship. I think that's what it was advertised as last time. Now, I'm going to tell you to pause it really soon. Not yet, but go ahead and play it. And now pause it. Well, pause it there. Pause it there. Well, go back a little bit if you can. Uh, when he's on like the gurney and stuff. Ready? Pause it. Okay. What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
I think this is where you find him. This is them scanning him too. I think this is before we get the. I think these are the same guys that come in that teaser we got from Fandom where they're shooting at him. I'm assuming he breaks out of this. They find him, get him out of the magic rock, and eventually he awakens and he gets the suit when his powers come on, like when he activates his powers. So I think that
Okay,
this
but
him.
here's a small little detail about comic. Well, I wouldn't say comics. So in the way that we are seeing or what was portrayed to us, the time where The Rock's Black Adam was chosen as quote unquote champion was a long ass time ago.
5,000 years ago.
Why is there technology?
This is present time.
Okay, so you're telling me
Yeah.
that he is able to safely turn back into his human self.
I think this is when the wizard encased him, prisoned him. I think this is what happened to him. And I think he has to utter the words again to get the power back.
So, like, you're saying almost Captain America-esque, he was able to keep his age and everything else.
Well, I think the wizard just froze him in that rock or wherever he was frozen in. I think that they find him, get him out, and they're doing this with him, and eventually his powers like kick in. He gets out of there, and then they find him at the cave that we saw the little teaser of, and they get a taste of
Okay.
his real
Okay.
power.
Well, we will definitely see it because when I saw this, when I saw him in his rags and everything else not being completely super, I was very confused by this.
I
I was
feel
very
like
confused
Clay,
with the
we're
fact that
we're going
like
to see the past first, showing what happened, how he got his powers, and I think the final thing we'll see of him in the past is the wizard taking away his power, and we'll see him going back into the like he'll not really insane, but you know when Doctor Strange touches Peter in No Way Home, and he comes out of his body. I think he'll make his powers go away, and we'll see him go back into that just before he's encased or prisoned forever or for whatever.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, they're filling him out with some, I guess, studying him.
S-Bub says, will Black Adam get a flashback of his son inside the back to tank? I think he will. I think he will.
And we get here the OG, the great Pierce Brosnan as Ken Elson. I think this is perfect casting by DC. Just incredible
Yes,
actor.
always good to see Pierce in here. Um, of
So we
course, we
see
get
him.
we get The Rock. Now, I was liking all of this. Again, confused at the beginning with this whole back to tank type thing. We
And this
see
is
that
his
his
son.
son was the one that sacrificed himself in order to save Black Adam. But in the comics, the way it was, I believe, his father and
His
him were
nephew.
slaves.
His nephew had the power as well as him in the comics in the 2011 run. It's not great for making him a hero. Rock. His nephew had the power as well, and he doesn't want to use it to take revenge on people. He doesn't want to do that, and so Black Adam kills him and takes his power.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that'll be that way. He said his son sacrificed it. So classic. I think it's classic Rock trying to tinker with the formula a little bit to make him more heroish. And this is where I think we get the same people that put him in there. They're coming to enclose him in the. I don't know where this is.
Now I see his boots and I see that they're more armor-esque instead of it being the um not leather, but like just like the normal aesthetic for the hero suit, really.
That's a
So I
cool
thought that
shot
was a
right
little
there.
odd. Um I do like all of the lightning special effects, especially
Yeah,
in dark areas. I really like this. Of course, this was a little bit extended of what we got at DC Fandom.
and he just blows up. I love. We get the JSA here now, Clay, and this is probably one of my favorite parts. Hawkman. I gotta go back to that look because
This is the Hawkman scene is what we saw at DC Fandom.
yeah,
Um
we didn't get this. Like I love him exiting the vehicle like that, and that's just awesome, 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 awesome. Listeners, he's just standing there with his wings. I don't have to tell you, you know the awesome scene. And Adam Smasher as well. I think he looks great,
the
gigantic.
Deadpool suit, yeah.
I got a complaint here, man. Got a complaint. I don't know why you showed Doctor Fate for the first time and you put him behind the mirror dimension from Doctor Strange. Like,
Uh
I want a clear look at him first. Like, you don't need to show me this part
but
first.
you've
Like,
already gotten a clear look at him though.
not
In
like I want to see
other
it moving. I want to see him moving. We've only seen him holding the helmet. We've gotten some concept art. This is the first time we've seen him move in live action as Doctor Fate, and I wanted a clear shot of him. That's one of the frustrating things here. But you don't get a clear look, and I think this is the only time he's wearing a suit in the trailer.
okay, I can understand that. We
And
got
we get a
Cyclone.
little taste of Cyclone here as well. And this is a question, Clay, I have because we have the villains here on the bite. Do you think this is Intergang? I don't see any
Uh,
apocalyptic symbols or anything like that, but apocalyptic tech. But
I think
I
the
think
red glowing lights might be an indication that it might be, but I'm not sure.
they have some dealings with Black Adam in the comics. And how we get the Hawkman speech to Black Adam: "Heroes don't kill people," and I'm just like, Hawkman, how long have you been part of the DCU?
No, and then see this scene right here was my first problem
I
with
love this stuff. What a like, oh, badass. I thought it was. But what do you have a problem with?
this scene right here. Go ahead and press play. He says, "Heroes don't kill people." He says, "Well, I do," and then immediately the generic rock humor right here.
Yeah, but
Like
they
I
obviously
wanted
for
to
the
turn this
trailer,
trailer
it's
off immediately after that.
oh my god, you're so you can get pissed off so quickly. Like this is just a thing to do for trailers to try to make it funny to bring people in. Like, it definitely doesn't go from that to that. Like I don't think you think that either, but it's like they're gonna have to
S-Bubs
have
does
some
bring up
humor.
a point here. He does say there was an Easter egg on a newspaper in Peacemaker that talked about Inner Gang in Kondak. So
Good point there, S-Pubs, and this is all the same thing. This is another good scene. This is kind of a bit of fun too, where he takes down the wing instead of going down himself. This is all overcut to Dr. Fate telling him like, you can be the world's destroyer or you can be its savior.
and there was a lot of people I saw on Twitter talking about how they got really taken out of the trailer. The fact that The Rock still just has his normal rock voice as Black Adam and not somebody with an accent to really feel like they are from Kondak. So that's
Oh
something as
my
well.
god! I know one thing. He will be carved up for an accent and online. So I'm good with him as it is here. I don't think accents are his game. This is a cool, like this is
Well,
a
he's
great
not an
action
actor.
scene.
That's the thing, though. He's a wrestler that's playing The Rock. That
No,
he
what
has
did
never been
wrestlers
able to
do?
get.
What do wrestlers do? Negative Nancy, dude.
He's able to. He has been playing The Rock since he was what, in his 20s, and he's just
No,
never gotten
he
rid of.
played different people to start wrestling. I don't want to get into wrestling history of The Rock or disvalue any of his achievements in the acting field because he does have a few. They're not the pretentious Oscar winners, but dudes made bank. So
He's
maybe
made
this will be
bank off of playing The Rock. Yes.
not even gonna. Let's just keep going forward and acknowledge your stuff here. So he shows up here with this didn't work for me. I didn't think this was funny where they crank out the windows. I did love this
The
where he catches the rocket and it explodes in him. I think it's a cool scene.
visually, I could say that this looks cool. There's some moments that I think will look great, but
Easter egg. Black Adam's first wife.
yes. But I'm really worried about this film.
I know you are, but I think it's going to be good. I'm really excited to see the JSA, and we got some posters of them as well. We got where oh well I don't have them up. Yes, I do right here. We got Atom Smasher, aka Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Look a lot like Deadpool here, but I still love the Atom Smasher costume. I guess when he's gigantic, yeah, they had to show it. Hawkman, which looks fantastic. Dr. Fate, who's not in his costume.
Oh, there's another
Power.
one in his costume. There's another because these aren't
Cyclone.
just posters. These are actually uh comic covers of the brand new Black Adam series that is coming out this summer.
So, Clay, you've hinted at it, but what do you think of the trailer?
Again, like everything was looking good up until I kept on saying this to my friends, and I even said it on I believe Batman News Weekly. I'm really surprised they didn't use like the Wilhelm scream as the guy was like flying out into freaking space. But yeah, did not like this trailer all too well.
I enjoyed this trailer, listeners, especially the JSA stuff. I want it more. I am disappointed we didn't get a villain for this, a villain, even one shot. So you wouldn't know unless you saw the Funkos who the villain's going to be. So that's something. I know we'll get another trailer, obviously, but I'm a little worried about the tone, Clay, because it seems like it's a little all over the place.
That's the real villain.
That's an issue for me. I am apprehensive about that. But even if I get
such a negative Nancy over here,
10 minutes
Hines.
about, oh yeah, come on, I'm not saying like no more Joker, no more. Even if I get 10 minutes of Dr. Fate, I'll be happy. And Hawkman. So I'm just as excited for the JSA as I am for Black Adam, and as something that really I'm glad about. So fingers crossed we'll get to see the villain and a bit of story the next trailer, but just stick it to. I wish we could just stick it to trailers. Like that's all I need.
S-Pub says, I didn't get the end of the trailer with his hand on the car. Like, what was that supposed to reveal? That Black Adam didn't die in a trailer? No, it's supposed to be like, oh, did he survive? And
Is he
like,
that
of course,
strong?
yeah, exactly. And it's dumb. Like, honestly, like, I don't necessarily like the way they edited the speed of him, like next to the car, and then all of a sudden, a couple feet to grab the rocket. I feel like that could have been done a lot better. But like again, it's just think of Think of Hobbs and Shaw, but put a Black Adam suit on Hobbs. That's right. Isn't he Hobbs or is he Shaw? I can't remember which one he
You're
is.
asking the dude who makes fun of Fast and Furious all the
You know what?
time in the GWA chat. Like,
Let's
I'm
see
not
here.
Brand.
Let's see here.
Dude. But no,
Who
Clay, I dispute your rock hate there for saying he's basically Hobbs or Shaw, whichever one we confirm he is. I think he's Hobbs.
I think so. I think
Hobbs
he's
sounds
Hobbs.
like the Rock to me. Well, Shaw doesn't sound exactly like
Yeah, I think
Shakespearean by any means, but
Hobbs. Yeah, so just watch Hobbs and Shaw, and then imagine Hobbs in a Black Adam costume, and then you have Black Adam,
oh
the
my
movie.
god, this
Is what it is. It's looking like it's going to be.
to show me the part about somebody being a slave in Hobbs and Shaw, please. Show me that. Show
It's the
me.
same acting. It's like there is no range for The Rock. I'm sorry. It's the exact same.
I'm sorry. I gotta send Rock a email or a Twitter blast or a Instagram something, just saying like you're gonna have to put on some Oscar-worthy performances, but people are expecting you here with to bring the Oscar heat. It's The
No, I'm
Rock,
not.
dude.
I'm
That's
not
the
asking
Rock
him to
is The
put.
Rock. He's always been The Rock. That's just
Yeah,
what he does. He's not John Cena or Dave Bautista in showing he hasn't played any other role. He's found the role that works for him in action star, and he's just done it. He's walked around like he's a superhero.
but
Many a
even
movie.
even Batista, you look at Batista and look at the roles that he's done.
He has range. He's played the same character as The Rock, just one film or two films. He hasn't played it the entirety. He played a great villain in the Bond franchise. Just one of a couple other roles he's had. I think he landed the Knives Up sequel. I think he's in that.
Knives
So
Out, yeah.
Knives Out. I don't know.
Glass Onion is what it's going to be
Yeah.
called.
So
But that's the problem that I have with The Rock. Like he can look like Black Adam, but he can't act like Black Adam.
we've ever
That's the
seen a Black
problem.
Adam act before. Like no one's ever had an interpretation of Black Adam. So I don't. You just
I've
from the
read
comic.
I've read
Yeah, just
comics
from the
and I know
comic. Yeah, but you said we've never seen. We haven't seen it ever before. Anyway, like uh, they take really big liberal adaptations with things all the time. So I need to see the thing before I can just say like just from 2 minutes of seeing him in the trailer to say he's so terrible. Like I need to see he's gonna try and give a heartfelt performance when his son dies. Now you can make it can be make funnable. We can make fun of it if it comes and it's he he does not do well. But I'm gonna give him like at the very least I hope he trained acting coaches and stuff. To do a little bit different role. But like I said, I'm not disputing with you that he has the most range. I think John Cena's the best wrestling actor we have. I told you he was going to knock out Peacemaker before we watched, just because I thought that he was that good of an actor that if you focus just on him,
do you
like,
think
well,
he has more range than Batista?
that's a good point. No, I think he's better at what he does best than Batista. I think Batista
What
has a
the
little bit
hell
more
does
range.
that even mean?
He's a better at comedy. His top is comedy, and he's the best at that of any of the three of them at what they're the best at. Rock, yes, he's an action hero, but that's I'm sorry. It's harder. I think it's harder to be a comedic timing actor. Like John Cena is fantastic in the comedic roles he's in. I think he like stands out in almost everyone he's been in. So that's just my personal opinion. Somebody else could ride or die for Dave Bautista. The same thing with The Rock, but I'm still excited for this film. Like I said, there's so many different characters that could spin out of this. Like we got Peacemaker from Suicide Squad that wasn't that successful in the box office. So, we that's the thing. Maybe we get a Doctor Fate thing with Pierce Brosnan on HBO Max. Now you have to increase the budget a little bit there, Zaslav. But who knows? Or Adam Smasher or Hawkman. Maybe we got Hawkman looking for Hawk Girl. So that's the thing that I know it's not Black Adam, but that's one of the things that get me super excited is the JSA being involved, and they're in the first trailer so much that they're going to be there a lot.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on to
Sandman,
the
play,
Sandman.
and I'm going to share my screen for this too, and you're going to talk about this whole thing because listeners, I watched this twice. I know who Sandman is. and that's the extent of it. I'm completely lost. It looks cool as bloody
Well, I'll
hell.
I'll I'll ask you this, and if you answer this in the right way, then you should be fine. Did you listen to the audio drama of Sandman at all? Oh, well, that's why you're lost. Okay.
Oh, I'm completely lost. I didn't know what was going on at all. But like I said, it all looks so dang cool that
Let's go ahead and start this then. This is a very short trailer. I say very short trailer, but I feel like nowadays trailers might be a little too long. Uh,
so
minute
this is
30
the Sandman.
seconds. This, I think, gave us the perfect tease for what we have here. Um, this is essentially this trailer gives the small little nuggets of what we've already heard in the audio drama. And with Neil Gaiman attached to this, this is basically going to be the comic on screen.
What is
Uh,
going on here
they are
with the
summoning the Sandman.
okay, so he's not around at the present time.
Yes. So he is being summoned. This Jenna Coleman is playing Constantine, which I absolutely
Ooh,
love.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
now, I believe this iteration right here that you see. Uh,
When it said Morpheus, I honestly thought play. I was like, do I have the right trailer right now?
yes, Morpheus is the Sandman's name. I believe they chose the best actor for Morpheus. Now, I will say because I've been so attached with James McAvoy as Morpheus in the audio drama, like I look at this Morpheus, I'm just like, oh man, it would have been so cool to have McAvoy in there. But that's not a problem. But Jenna Coleman, like I was saying, Jenna Coleman is going to be playing two different generations of the Constantine family. Um, so I believe the one that she is playing currently here on screen is an older generation, and then she's going to be playing a younger counterpart in a more modern generation of it as well.
So what's going on here with the cops shooting at this tank?
So here, uh, I'm trying to remember. I haven't actually read Sandman. I've only listened to the audio dramas. I've only listened to of course, they've only had two. Third is already
Where's
finished,
Chris
by the way,
Belga when we
people.
need him? Because
Uh,
it seems like he really loves Sandman.
yes, Chris has finished, I believe, the entire run of Sandman currently. Well, the best known volume of Sandman, volumes. Sorry.
Well, he
Uh,
blows sand at them,
yeah, he's the Sandman. He makes people dream. He makes people go to sleep. It's amazing.
and then he goes
Uh,
through this portal.
I am really excited.
What is
Really
this? Like the
excited.
first thing I saw, I thought Asgard.
So, if I am correct, this would be his palace, his dream world, I believe,
Okay,
is the dream world of
actually,
the
yeah,
Sandman universe.
that's what they say because when he goes there, it's terrible because he's been gone
It's
for so long.
yeah, yeah.
It's crumbling, and I guess they forgetting about him, and this is what he says he's going to live
But
in
I
their
love
memory.
how this actor is like super stoic. And like that's exactly who Sandman is. Sometimes in a lot of these different stories of Sandman, he is usually just like standing in the background sometimes and the story goes on and then he will interject or whatever. I can see this character doing that. Um I love visually how this looks. I love the mask of the Sandman here as well. Uh really ominous looking.
Scary.
Um But right here, I said, as well as I don't think you're any longer in the chat, but literally, if anybody's watching the Sandman trailer at a minute 10
10.
seconds, a minute 10 seconds, I thought this was Snell. Um, this looks exactly like Snell's haircut back in the day. Currently, he has no hair. But yeah, immediately thought of Snell when I saw this. And then later on, you do see this individual's eye is bleeding, and he's saying he is coming.
I don't know
Or
if Snell will take this as a compliment, but when Clay said that to me, I said, "Well, if that's the case, you can go back to Psycho. Is it Psycho? What's the one? American Psycho with Christian Bale, and like at a certain look, he looks like that as well. So I don't know. you take that as a you look like Christian Bale compliment if you want. But
He is out of
yeah,
his cage, is what he says. Yeah. So
and
August
August
5th.
5th. Is the crow significant? Is that crow significant? Because I didn't know what was going on at that point.
Yes, the crow is significant to Sandman. I will say this though. There has been conversations. I think the conversations will continue, but DC Alliance and of course a walk through the multiverse are having conversations about covering this and how we will do so. So just look forward to that in the future. Really, really excited about Sandman on Netflix.
I'm interested to learn. I don't have any idea, but I'll give it a shot. That's what heroes do.
Now, excuse me. I was going to leave this as a end credits, but we're already about an hour. Let's go ahead and do this now, so that way we can just end it when we end it. But how do you feel? Well, I kind of mentioned it to you in the in our personal chat. And at the time, the Lady Gaga thing was still a rumor. So I was like, okay, we'll just talk about rumors right now. And technically, Lady Gaga could still technically be a rumor until she is absolutely confirmed. But
I think that's how we should take it with DC, because if anybody else let this get out and you don't sign her, you look like fools.
true. But there is a rumor, and actually, SBubs shared this with us in the Geekverse Discord chat. Go check that out to just hang out with all of us. We talk video games, we talk everything really pop culture in there. Um, but there is a rumor surrounding Aquaman 2. Now, I will go ahead and give a spoiler ish warning now. So that way, if anybody wants to go ahead and head out of this podcast, this is going to be in regards of Aquaman 2, not story wise, but maybe a cameo, um, probably greater DCEU type of storytelling. But 3, 2, 1. Rumor is that Michael Keaton is going to be making an appearance in Aquaman 2. So, how do you feel about this just off the cuff? Just hearing that Michael Keaton might make an appearance in Aquaman 2. Just that alone.
If that actually happens, then he will probably be setting up a new Justice League. I don't know how I feel about that. Uh, I'm still indifferent. I need to see the Flash. Need to see what's going to happen in the Flash before I settle on anything, because he's rumored to be in Batgirl as well.
See,
So
and
not rumored.
this,
The director straight up confirmed it. So
I mean, and we saw it.
yeah, the Bureau.
Now the thing is about this, the release schedule for these movies is Aquaman 2, Flash, and what we would have presumed to be Batgirl because of the way the lineup was before everything shifted.
I can see Aquaman 2 moving another time too.
Maybe. But if it doesn't shift again, Aquaman 2 is before the Flash.
Then that doesn't make
And
any sense.
exactly. So we assumed that Keaton would be making his first appearance in the DCEU in the Flash. But if this is true, he'd be making his first appearance in Aquaman 2. Now, this can be a cameo appearance, and I said this in our chat. It could mean that the ending or post-credit scene of Aquaman 2 is after the Flash, technically, just timeline-wise, and we'll see how that goes. But let's say he's not. Let's say that the ending of Aquaman 2 is before the entire movie of The Flash. And I needed to do some research about this because we also heard rumors of Keaton being the ultimate tease to a future Crisis event in the DCEU. If that is true, I asked, the people who I thought would have the most knowledge on Crisis. And I was like, okay, what was the first tease to Crisis? Yes, the red skies, but before that, and I was directed to Flash of Two Worlds, and so I was like, okay, let me go back and read up on that. So I did read it today, and there's a deluxe edition. If you are reading digital comics, it's like $8 or $9. Go check it out. Really fun book, whatever. The only problem with this is Barry Allen, just doing, just crazy stuff. He's actually like entertaining orphans and accidentally vibrates so fast that he goes into a different world. Well, to my knowledge, Michael Keaton doesn't have speedster powers. He can't vibrate into a different world unless somebody put him there
Or pulls him there by accident.
or pulls him there by accident. So it might be possible that some other force outside of the Flash is taking Keaton's Batman and placing him into the DCEU.
Could be Reverse Flash. To
That
mess up
could-
the timeline.
That is true. That is true. Which would ultimately affect Barry Allen's life, going into that whole idea that Reverse Flash is always, looking to screw up Barry Allen's life anyway. So it's just really, really interesting. It's odd to see it like a possibility because it does rack your brain a little bit. But it's just something to really put out there, if this is true.
It's interesting. I just don't know how they would go about showing Keaton's first time in Aquaman post-credit scene. I'd be really shocked. I really see it coming in the Flash, and then us getting some guys there. Maybe Aquaman gets pushed back again. Maybe this rumor. I would believe this rumor a lot more if Aquaman wasn't ahead of the Flash, Clay. Yeah, but still really interested because I still like to know what the plan is with Keaton because we know nothing. So props to them for keeping it under wraps, or we think we know nothing. Maybe there's been something dropped. But fun
Or
episode,
there could be no plan at all.
There could
it
be.
is DC.
Zaslav could just see a plan on fire, new plan.
But yes, that is it for the episode. Thank you all for showing up. There was at least, I think, about 6 people here in the chat today. Thank you so much for showing up. And Heinz, where can the lovely listeners find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Travis_156. You can drop me a line. We can chat about DC anytime. I also host superhero discussions on the network. Going back to Spectacular Spider-Man after Young Justice, like I said earlier. Great, fun interview. I want to thank Christopher Jones again and Chris Balga for joining me to review the season finale.
Very, very nice. And of course, you can always find me at FanboyClay on Twitter. Go into the link tree right there in that bio, and you can find all the links to all the shows that I host, that including DC Alliance, Batman News Weekly, Ranger Alliance, and of course, Star Wars Alliance. So thank you so much again for making it this far, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week, guys.